Hi, I'm Cheryl with Home Ridge Studio. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. If you are not, please consider subscribing to my channel because it does help me grow. And I am trying to grow my channel. Anyway, today we're going to make two different gnomes using mostly Dollar Tree stuff. If I don't have Dollar Tree things, I will show you what you can buy at the Dollar Tree or maybe something that you have on hand to make these gnomes. And let's get started. So here's the first one. This is the Scarecrow gnome from the Dollar Tree, and all these pieces are from the Dollar Tree. There's felt, fabric, and whatever kind of ribbons, flowers, enhancements that you want, some raffia, some buttons. We have, let's see, the mop head back there and the leaves. So those are actually from Hobby Lobby, but you can get the same leaves from the Dollar Tree. So we're going to dismantle the Scarecrow partially, take off that hat. Kind of struggled with that. It was glued on pretty good. And then just clip everything off of his head. And we're not going to see the face or that little piece of material up there because we're going to cover it with this mop head. So I'm just measuring the mop head from where I want to start the gnome's beard. And I'm cutting, I don't remember, 10 I think. And then I didn't like that either, so I clipped it off. We're not going to see that. The beard's going to be covering that. So yeah, so I'm measuring and then I'm gluing. And then I remembered, oh yeah, you should always know where the nose is going to go, because that is where you're going to start your beard, just slightly above the nose, because you don't want to see the top of the beard. If you're looking up underneath, you want to see just the nose, and the beard should disappear in the hat. So I think maybe it looks like I probably had 12. And I'm trying to decide what type of material or felt I want to use for the hat. And I don't believe I got this color at Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, Michael's. You can get these color anywhere, probably on Amazon too. And I like that color. So you fold it in half. I'm just measuring it to see how big it needs to be. And of course, it's not going to be perfect, but I do fold it in half. Kind of not really in half, but you can kind of see like on an angle like that, because we're going to use a triangle part for the hat. So you just cut that and you have one triangle. And then I just kind of crisscross it in the back to make it look like it was meant to be that way. And then we're going to hot glue it down. Obviously, you're going to want to cover the back of the styrofoam that says face, or the back of his head, so you can't see it. So you're going to want to bring that down onto the body. And then just glue it all the way up. And it looks like I'm gluing the inside, but I'm leaving that hole open because we're going to put some raffia in there. And there's my handy dandy spatula that I just can't live without these things. I have like 4 of them. Anyway, now I am counting the beard, splitting it in half right in the middle, and then you take that bead, and if your bead has a hole in it, you want to stick the hole up inside the hat so the glue goes on the hole in the bead, and that hole gets attached to the bottom of the hat. And then the other hole gets attached to the beard so you don't see them. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Trim the beard out to whatever desired length, and I always angle the sides. I cut them up so it kind of looks like it's going down into a peak ever so slightly. And so now we're going to take this raffia that's on the hat. We might as well use it. and I'm going to place it underneath the hat. So we're just going to add a little bit of the raffia mixed in with the beard. You don't have to do this. I just wondered what it looked like, so I just threw a few pieces in there, and that's what it looks like, and I'm trimming it up. And then I'm tying the jute string around its arms and making a little bow there, and then sealing it with hot glue, and then putting a button on top of that. So it's kind of hard to see here, but there's the raffia tied and then the button on top of that. And then a button in the back, slightly bigger than the ones on the arms. And then I should have left the suspenders the way that they were because I like the blue, but I decided I was going to put some ribbon on that instead. And I probably shouldn't have done that. It just adds for more interest, I guess. But I think it looks probably better just like the denim color. And then I put buttons on the bottom. And there's that little raffia that I'm going to stick on the top of the hat. And then I'm going to take the jute twine and I'm just going to tie it, and then I'm going to wrap it around several times. Hot glue it and pinch it tight with those little clamps. And then I was going to put the ribbon around the top of the hat, or the bottom of the hat, to match the suspenders, but I thought it was too much. I took the jute twine and tied it like a belt around the waist. And that's what he looks like so far. So now the fun part, my favorite part, is just decorating the hat. And so I just took that patch off of the hat that I clipped off of his hat earlier because it matches the shirt that the Scarecrow Gnome is wearing, and just hot glued it back onto the felt there. And that you can't see because it's so little, but it's a little piece of that burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree, or just a burlap, yeah, I guess it's ribbon. And then these tiny leaves are from Hobby Lobby, but you can get, they're bigger from the Dollar Tree, but you can clip them down from the Dollar Tree if you want. I just had these on hand and I thought that I'd use them. And the sunflowers are from Hobby Lobby. And see, I'm clipping down leaves there from like a big floral arrangement or like a big pick. The leaves are too big, so you just clip a little bit into a leaf shape and then glue them on. And then a pumpkin and leaves on his hand. And that's it. Very quick, very easy, very simple. And that burlap, the pocket there is a burlap piece of that ribbon too. So this is the next gnome that we're going to make. And here's again some stuff that I'm going to use. I probably won't use all of this, but this is a placemat. It's from the Dollar Tree. I like the placemats because they're heavier, for the hats, or a heavier material. But you can use material placemats. You can use, anything that you want. And this faux fur is from Hobby Lobby, and I believe it's $3.99. And I usually wait until there's a sale and then I stock up on those. But you can use the mop head too. I use both for my gnomes. And you're going to need a nylon with some polyfill, or you can use cotton balls. I have an old pillow. Matter of fact, I threw my couch out and I have all of the pillows from my couch and I use the stuffing from them, so I can make a bazillion gnomes. Anyway, there's some plastic shoes from the Dollar Tree, beads, socks, some yarn to tie it off, but I'll show you as we go the things that you can use. So I like to take whatever material I'm going to use for the hat and match it to the sock. Some socks I use are gray, light gray, dark gray, some are white, some are black. They can be whatever type of color, but I'm really kind of picky about them matching. Then you take these pebbles I got from Home Depot. You get a huge bag for like $3, but you have to clean them, you have to wash them. You can also get pebbles from the Dollar Tree or from your backyard. And I just fill the sock to like how I showed you to. When you kind of hold it and drop it on the counter, it's not going to tip over. And that will give your gnome like a balance, so it will stand up and not fall over. And then you just take that polyfill. You can use a pillow, an old pillow or whatever, and stuff it in there to your desire. I like to make mine pretty solid because I do sell mine. And then just stuff it in there, tie it off with whatever string you have, and put some hot glue in there. And I'm just trying to match the beard to the material because I'm super picky for some reason. And then you take that, and you can take scissors, you can use scissors, but you don't want to cut it across. You want to just cut the layer of the back of the fur. And then when you're done, you want to pull all the excess fur off. Or you can use that X-Acto knife that I had and just score the back, but score it up, and be careful that when you're scoring it, that you don't cut yourself. Those things are very sharp, and I have cut myself before on those too. Anyway, I put the beard on, and I just glue the top and the bottom on one side, press it down, and same thing on the other side. So both sides, top and bottom. And now you take the material, just like I made the hat for the first scarecrow gnome, do the same thing. Make a triangle with it, cut off the excess, and then cut it in half. Now if you're using thin material, you might want to double up on it, but this was thick because it was a, placemat. And now I'm just going to fold it in half again like that to make a triangle, and I'm going to hot glue those two pieces together. And I'll show you in a minute how this works. See how it's inside out? We're gonna take it and we're gonna turn it the other way after it dries. And you want that to dry really good. And you want to press it down, press that hot glue in there. Make sure there's no openings in there. And if there is, if you missed an area, right here I'm just reinforcing it so it doesn't pull apart. So while that's drying, we're going to make a nose. You can use a bead if you want, but sometimes I like to use a nylon. You can get these knee highs at the Dollar Tree. So you take the nylon and you cut the reinforced toe off, and you cut the top off. Then cut it in half. Tie off one end, you take your polyfill or your cotton ball and you stick it in there, and then you kind of roll it around, and then you pull the other end and you tie that off, and then you take both of the ends and you tie it together, and it gives you a nice strong, sturdy nose, if that makes sense. I know it sounds kind of silly, but it's not a flimsy nose, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then take that hat, turn it around, but just in the back, not in the front, not just yet. Now there's many things that you can do with this hat. I am just rolling it up, but you could put ribbon around it if you want, or glue ribbon around it, but I thought it looked kind of cute flipped up. And now we are going to make the arms. So you take the sock, the leftover sock from earlier, and you cut all the end off, the excess off. And then you fold it in half, like I am here. And make sure those are even, because you want both of the width of the arm and the length of the arm the same width in height. Or length, I should say. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. And then you fold one down in the middle, and the other one up, and then you fold them together. And then you just take the glue and you run a bead right down the middle of that. And then press them together, being very careful that you don't touch the glue with your hands. And I swear, I don't think there's one time that I've ever used hot glue where I don't glue my hands together or burn my hands. I don't know why. I don't know. Do you guys do that? Take the excess material and cut a strip off. We are going to make a cuff around the end of the arm. And I forgot to mention, use those clips. Those are wonderful. I love these clips, and they are from the Dollar Tree. So the arm where you see the crease where it was glued together, that should go in the back of the gnome. So you put it underneath the hat, and then the crease would be facing the back. And then go ahead and take a smaller bead, and you could put it right in there and poke it down pretty good with a big glob of glue around it. And if you still see the circle or the hole in the bead, just take some hot glue and put it around the edge and pull the material up over it, so you only see like it's a hand, a little hand peeking out. And now we're going to glue the bucket onto the hands. And I can't tell you enough, if you put hot glue on metal and you touch the metal, it's going to hurt really, really bad. So use those clips as reinforcements, and don't touch the metal when the hot glue's on it. It's kind of like a hot pan on the stove. And then I just put some floral foam in there, and I'm taking these sticks, or not sticks, they're toothpicks. And these are the acorn ones, but I think I like the sunflower ones better because the gnome's beard is dark and it's hard to see them, but I thought a bucket of acorns would be cute. But you can't see them, so I did add a couple sunflowers in there. And now, while he's just sitting there chilling, we're going to take these shoes from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to take some felt. And I like to use felt. You can use material, but the felt works really well with these shoes. I usually cut a square or a circle. You're just going to want to make sure that when you fold it, it all folds into the shoe like that. So the front of the shoe, you take that and you fold it in. Then you take the back of the shoe and you fold it in. Then you take the sides and then fold them in last. So the front of the shoe looks smooth. And then you just poke it down there really quick. And then just put a big glob of glue in there. And I would just let that sit for a second before we attach them. So do that to both of them. And then he can stand on these if you want, but it's a matter of getting it balanced perfectly so it doesn't tip over. Or you can make it look like he's sitting down, and that's what I did. And it looks like he's doing the splits here, but he's not. His shoes are really in the front, but I don't know why in this video it looks like they're on the side. Anyway, there you can see it better. And there he is. I got a little cleanup to do in the back, but I wanted to quick pop this together for you so you could see how to make a gnome, a no-sew gnome. And here is again a peek at all the gnomes that I've been making lately, getting ready for my craft show, which is on October 1st. I have a lot of work to do. And there's my little scarecrow gnome. And the pumpkin in the little container. I made those, not in the container. They're in the little like flower pot thing. I made those, and a couple of the other pumpkins and leaves I just bought at the Dollar Tree. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe, and have a very blessed day. Bye.